with Wong teasers, what you want to target is games with low totals. Guess what we have here in the preseason? All games with low totals. So that is what's appealing. First off, it's you put two legs together, and you are not going to go through zero. You're looking to go through a couple of key numbers. So if you're in the +2 range, right? We've said 1 and 2 is a key number. If you're +2 range, that means you could tease that dog up to +8. You are going through the 3 and the 7. So in the regular season, that's what we're looking for. If you're at 7.5 and you're a 7.5 point favorite, you're going to tease it down. You're going through the 7 and the 3. That's what you're looking for. So my question to you, Ed, is we talked about how, okay, we have all these low total games. The idea of Wong teasers, do we change the numbers that we want to target, right? Or like which ones are considered Wong teasers if 3 is not a key, but 1 or 2 is a key? Is that make it more difficult? This whole idea is brought up because I was actually reading a piece by Captain Jack Andrews on Twitter, one of the best around in the gambling space. And he wrote a piece on do's and don'ts for NFL preseason. And we've covered a lot of that this week. And then one do is not something we've talked about. He said, do play Wong teasers. It is hard to quantify the value of certain half points in the preseason. However, if you don't mind trusting that the value is directionally correct, Wong teasers are typically a strong play in preseason. Last season, they went 18-5 individually. If you had decent outs, you'll find a lot of shops increase the price you pay for teasers in the preseason, so shop around for the best price and don't pay too much despite the good record. Past performance not indicative of future results. Are Wong teasers good in the preseason? Yes. Are they good enough to lay -150 on a 2-teamer? No.
Betting on preseason football is something where, because you don't have a whole lot of data to go on, the natural hurdles you have to jump over to bet on preseason games in general, I think certainly can apply to this situation. But I'm with you. I think when it comes to Wong teasers, I think overall it should be a profitable approach. And even though the key numbers for the preseason compared with the regular season are different, the last thing you want to do is tease through zero. That is a big no-no. And that can be a little bit tricky and perhaps a little bit tempting if you keep hearing that 1 and 2 are the key numbers. Still, though, you want to avoid going through zero. So if I'm looking at Friday's slate, for instance, the natural Wong teaser you would do if, say, this were the regular season would be to take the Bucks, move it to +8.5, and then the Dolphins and move that to +8.5, so that you have 3 and 7 already there. And look, if it's a 1 to 2 point game, then you've already won that as well. So there are perhaps additional key numbers if you take the dog and then, move it over those necessary 6 points. I don't know, what you're laying as far as that's concerned, at least not without putting it in the old book here, but at least to me, by having a similar approach, at least you have some kind of a baseline to go off of.
The lowest total of the weekend by far is 33.5 between the Chargers and Rams. That's a 3-point spread with the Rams favored. So in that spot, if you want to include that, the lowest total by more than a field goal, you can go Chargers up to +9. But man, Staley does not care. That's that's the part that's a little dicey. That's the thing. That's part of your handicap as well.
And McVay, I don't think really cares that much either.
No, he doesn't.
Record aside.
Does McDaniels? Yeah. McDaniel, I mean. No Wes.
Very Chicago of you.
Yeah.
Yes. Just add us.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Certainly if there's some 2.5s or some 3s, Aaron, definitely I think those should be in play here because you're still going through like the 6 or going through the 3 and the 7. Washington +3 against Cleveland. Is that a leg that either of you guys would be tempted to take?
Man. Yeah, but Watson's starting. So when I was looking at that game, the first thing that popped in my head is maybe Watson first half is a play, but it's probably going to be a series or two. So I don't know if your book is offering quarters. There's a lot of noise happening in Commanders camp that I don't love with their first game right after all of these distractions. I would lean Cleveland early in the game, if anything, there. So we've talked about a lot this preseason how tough it is going to be for another one of these positions to break through if you truly do have 3 quarterbacks starting week 1, which is a possibility. Maybe it doesn't happen, though. Maybe that's not the case. But after seeing Stroud and just, you look around, okay, who's his best weapon on the outside? Is it going to be Robert Woods? Is it going to be Mechie, a guy we haven't seen it from, but a lot of people project that he will be good? Nico Collins. So where's he going to rack up this yardage? And yeah, it's hard to watch last night, little football, and just not consider that. If I were to tell you, oh, Richardson, yeah, he's going to play most of the year, but he's really going to struggle. I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. Bryce Young doesn't have any weapons on the outside. They took away his best weapon in that trade to the Bears. So would I go elsewhere? Yeah, I prefer to go elsewhere, actually, because the group of receivers that I think could have big years with some value, I love Quentin Johnston at 22-1. I'm a fan of what I think Zay Flowers can be, and he's 30-1, which could be a very explosive offense through the air in Baltimore. Any quarterbacks that you have circled, whether it be fantasy or just backing their team, quarterbacks that you think are going to have breakthrough seasons?
I mean, he already broke through from a fantasy perspective, but I think this is going to happen more in the real life world. And Joe, I hate to get labeled as a homer on this one, but Justin Fields, man. You can apply whatever labels you want to apply based on him being an Ohio State quarterback, but we all know what his track record is coming out of college, and we all know what he was dealing with last year. Just absolutely nothing around him, and no quarterback. I'm not going to say no, because maybe you could have dropped Patrick Mahomes into that situation, and he would have been all right, and maybe the Bears go 9-8 or whatever. But few, if any, quarterbacks could find individual success in the circumstances that Justin Fields found himself in last year. They get DJ Moore. Is he one of the 10 or 12 best receivers in the NFL? I don't know, but I feel pretty comfortable saying he's a top 20 receiver and miles better than anything Justin Fields had last year. They used the 10th overall pick on Darnell Wright. Now he's got an anchor on one side of the line. Braxton Jones played pretty well last season. The Bears obviously feel confident enough to keep him over as the starting left tackle, so you feel much better about where the offensive line stands this season. And if DJ Moore works out the way that the Bears are expecting him to work out, things just make more sense. It's like a lower grade version of what the Jaguars are expecting out of Calvin Ridley, and how things just fall into place the way that you would design an offense, because now everyone gets bumped down a little bit more. Everyone gets their responsibilities lessened, and now we're talking about Darnell Mooney Moore as a number 3, which is probably where he slots. It feels like the Bears, Ryan Poles, did everything they could to get an accurate picture of who Justin Fields is this season, and I think that's someone who you want to be betting on now that he has all this around him.
All right, Jake. How about
all right,
your
Joe?
guy? I mean,
and
he's
Snell's
in the
going
hunt.
too?
Yeah, I mean, this is you guys. This is you guys today.
Wow.
Snell's on the road at Arizona. Arizona's not
This
hitting.
one's
Snell's a great
fascinating.
outing. Like, he's going to get another bump for Cy Young.
This
don't wanna
is
talk
two
about it.
teams who have done so bad lately. I mean, they're both fighting for a final spot, but both of these teams have disappeared in the last couple weeks. I mean, the Padres have lost 4 straight. The D-backs have lost 8 straight.
Ugh.
Oh, gosh.
Ugh.
I know.
Soto says they've quit.
Right.
Okay. So hammer the D-backs?
It sounds like Jake thinks that
Oh.
Snell's going to win the Cy Young.
He's not going to win. A guy who goes 5 innings every outing is not going to win. He's not going to win.
D-backs money line
Sure.
plus 145.
I can't do that. Snell's got really good history against Arizona. Batting average allowed of 139, strikeout rate of 35.5%. Statcast number is also elite.
He's awesome.
I have to back Snell in some way here.
Yeah, Ryan Nelson stinks too. That's the other part.
Right.
On the
So
Blake Snell
it's-
thing, it's going to be really, really funny when, like, the Yankees pay him $1 billion and he immediately sucks again. It's going to be great.